Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good evening, good
I'm
morning,
I'm Beavis.
and I'm Butthead.
Ah,
I'm
I gotcha. Welcome back to One on One Ratio Pod. I'm Yoav akiva,
Melina Nazarian.
butthead, and this is and
We've already started. We've already started.
tonight we're gonna be discussing
Inherent Vice,
Inherent
brother.
Vice, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Few things before we start the pod. First thing, I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty. It's just my pajama shirt.
Oh,
Don't get that mixed up, please.
yeah.
Second thing is I'm talking, if I sound weird, it's because I'm a little sick.
No, he's just trying to seduce you guys.
Well, okay, I didn't actually do my seducing, my soft seducing voice, but I'll just go into that right now.
He might bust that out. He might bring it out.
I'll
Oh,
I'll bust that
oh,
out. Anyways,
no.
um,
Welcome
third
back.
thing
Oh,
Third
third
things
thing.
is me and Meli. Three things have been, sorry, me and Meli have been in a little bit of a conundrum after watching this movie
Mm-hmm.
because despite its long runtime, we didn't write a lot of notes,
Nope. Nope.
and I don't know what that says, but so it might not be as long. It might be a quickie, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay because sometimes you just need our Mikey and Nikki episode from last week will be dropping soon, and I think that one is relatively long.
Yeah,
So
that one's definitely a good hour and 20.
if this ends up shorter, whatever, man.
It's a quick afternoon delight.
It's an inherent vice.
Yep.
Um,
Should
shall we
we get
start
into
though?
news?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll start.
Give me a second. I just need to like forward my news from my phone to my computer.
Oh my God, he always does this. So, while he does that, I'll mention our first piece of news because it's not that special. Um, Margot Robbie is supposedly producing both a Monopoly film and a Sims film. I don't know what that means. Like I don't know what that entails. There's no details, but I don't know how I feel about a Monopoly in a Sims film. A Sims film to me makes no sense because Sims is all about creating your own characters and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how that would work. Monopoly film, that's literally just like that's enterprise. Why would
So
we want a
so
movie about
so
enterprise?
so what is that choice? Let's not make Monopoly or Sims. I feel like they're gonna try to make do like Barbie, because you know how Barbie is like about fixing the wrongs of the non-feminist
I guess.
thing that Mattel created. Um Monopoly is gonna fix the wrongs of being a shamelessly capitalistic, you know, I don't know, is it gonna make fun of capitalism like
Oh,
Barbie makes fun of gender dynamics in 2023?
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't care. Let's just do something original, please.
And Sims is gonna be the same idea of Barbie, right? Are they gonna realize they're in a simulation?
Maybe, but the thing that is so awesome about Sims is that like it's its own world. Like that's why
Right, and
Sims is so great. And
there's
there's no
not one
storyline.
set yeah, there's not one set sim world because
Yeah.
everyone builds their own.
Maybe
So
it,
it's like, are
it's
we gonna watch?
maybe it's gonna be how have you played Sims?
Yeah,
Maybe how like how like in Sims they say make a or they do a whoopee.
yeah.
Maybe it's gonna be that.
How do you run that out on a feature-length film?
Well, because you know how they go on like the rocket ship up to space and then they come back
Right,
down? Maybe it's
right.
gonna be that.
Mm.
Just saying, just saying.
got it.
Wait, do you only have two pieces, right?
I only had two pieces.
Okay, I'll do another one.
Go ahead.
So John Waters confirms that Aubrey Plaza will star in his next film, Liar Mouth. However, because we've mentioned that before, however, the project does not have funding yet. And from John Waters, he says that I'm thrilled she's going to star in it, but we don't have the money yet, and I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see.
So, um, this is part of a trend that we've been noticing recently with David Lynch and now John Waters, and
Francis Ford
Scorsese
Coppola.
and Francis Ford Coppola. Well, a little less Francis Ford Coppola, but
His is more
um,
marketing side, but
were these giant classic directors whose works are studied in film school and have been classically and famously celebrated throughout the ages,
mhm,
are coming back and returning after many years to create a passion project or a new, new output, and they're not getting enough funding for it.
yep.
So what's going on with that, guys? What kind of world will we live in do we live in where Scorsese doesn't make enough money initially to make Killers of the
Hmm.
Flower Moon? David Lynch doesn't have enough money to make an animated film.
Yeah.
Like an animated film costs less than a you just have to pay animators and sound designers and and all the post pre-production stuff, but it's less expensive than a feature,
Hmm.
especially a David Lynch feature,
Yeah.
a live action feature. So how is he not making enough what money to make Snoot World happen? Like let's pay David Lynch to create new art, and let's
Yeah.
pay John Waters, dude.
Hmm.
How is he not getting funded?
It's crazy to me because John Waters is so influential, obviously, in the
He's the king
film
of
world.
trash.
Yeah, literally. He's
Yeah.
paved the way for like queer cinema, and the fact that you can't honor him by giving him some sort of budget to create his movie, like,
That's so upsetting to me.
yeah, me too.
That is so upsetting. Especially when we live in a world where pink flamingos just had a big resurgence,
Hmm.
with the rise of Letterboxd, people have been discovering films such as John Waters films and celebrating them even more. I've seen an increase in interest in John Waters cinema as
Yeah.
of recent. So it's so strange to me that directors like this aren't getting funded. So
It's
crazy.
it's really a shame.
What kind of world, what kind of industry are we functioning within?
I
Crazy.
don't know.
Speaking of another thing that's a little dystopian, or that might mark the fall of cinema as a medium. Um, Ice Spice is set to appear in Spike Lee's High and Low for Apple TV films. Um, so as we know, Spike Lee
Wait,
is making
what?
a remake of Akira Kurosawa's famous classic High and Low, um, with the Apple Original Films, and it has been announced that Ice Spice will be making her first film debut, if you will,
Wait,
in said movie.
that's real?
That's real.
No way. No
And
way.
you know, there's like variety articles on it. Like it's real. I when I first saw that, I had to check that it wasn't April 1st, and then I was like, that's stupid because April 1st was like 2 weeks ago. Like it's not April 1st anymore. Ice Spice is gonna be in the High and Low remake directed by Spike Lee, starring along with Denzel Washington.
No comment.
So what is going on? Well, I wonder what role she's. I've seen High and Low once and a half. because
Mhm.
I started rewatching it the other month when we mentioned Spike Lee and his remake. I never finished
Okay.
it, but it is a wonderful film. Um, and I'm just wondering what role she'll be playing. Perhaps Toshiro Mifune's wife.
Maybe, but
There's not a lot of female roles in the film. Um, barely. There's a wife character. There's some there's a victim. I don't know. It just seems crazy to me that that's happening.
all right.
So what is she gonna do? Start singing Munch?
Yeah,
Like
she is.
it, it doesn't bother me that much, but also
I'm just confused, that's all.
that's such a strange string. Like if someone told me before I even knew that Spike Lee was making a High and Low remake, someone was like, Ice Spice is set to appear in Spike Lee's High and Low. Like that's such a crazy sentence.
Yeah, very crazy
I
sentence.
just feel like High and Low is such a prestigious film, it being in the top like 5 films of all time on Letterboxd and like many other like the BFI list incredibly high up there. I don't
Mhm.
know. So just Ice Spice isn't really fitting into that equation for me. So
I mean, she could surprise us, but I don't know.
yeah, I guess she could. Maybe she'll pull out some like ginormous dramatic performance that and
Mhm.
we just won't see it coming. Still.
Speaking of giant performance, Damien Chazelle is writing and directing an untitled movie, so he's gotten the green light for Paramount
Okay.
Pictures. And
Okay.
the film, we this is the only thing we know about it so far, will be set in prison. That's all we know.
Huh.
So Damien Chazelle,
I'm
he's
happy
back.
to hear Damien can get funding for his films
Yeah.
because there was an issue with that a few
Mm-hmm.
months back where he couldn't get enough money.
Yep.
And that also part of the trend of these acclaimed directors um not getting enough funding. Well, I'm happy to hear he made it.
Mm-hmm.
And for prison film no less.
Um,
Huh.
okay, before you do your next one, I got another one.
Okay.
Because your next one's long.
What is he gonna do? Prisland? I'm sorry.
Oh my
It,
God. Prisalon. Prislash.
Prislash. It's gonna be about a jazz class in prison.
Mm-hmm. But it's also
And
gonna be a musical, and there's also gonna be a lot of cocaine.
yay,
Yeah.
Babylon with prison.
Mm-hmm.
With prison. Go
You
ahead.
guys, you guys like that brain rot right there? Okay. This one is really random, but I kind of wanted to mention it because it's so random. Kendrick Lamar.
I heard this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar and South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone's untitled musical will release July 4th, 2025, and the film follows
Yes.
a young black man interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum who
I
discovers.
haven't heard this synopsis.
Oh, okay, well, listen up. Listen up. So, young black man interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his.
That's shocking.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that. I thought it was kind of interesting.
That seems like that's such a Kendrick Lamar synopsis.
And
I
Trey
feel
Parker and
like,
Matt Stone. They would
yeah,
do something like that.
I'm so looking forward to this, and it's a musical.
Yeah, which is
I wonder,
don't know how they're gonna execute that, but okay.
well, Kendrick Lamar is kind of an actor
Yeah, yeah,
when you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. Like just listen to a track like "We Cry Together" from his most
Hmm.
recent album. Like that is a performance. That is
Yes.
like a it's do we know if it's animated?
No,
Because
I
he's
don't know.
working with the anime creators that made,
It
South Park
it
again.
might be an animation, but there's nothing about whether it's animated or live.
I'm looking forward to that. Sounds whack.
We'll see. I'm excited
Sounds
too.
whack and
I will tune in. And
possibly very.
because it's with Kendrick Lamar, I'm hoping that it won't be super insensitive. And I say super because South Park creators, we know what they're up to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
maybe Kendrick will add some depth
It
stuff.
makes so much sense to me that Kendrick Lamar likes South Park.
Yeah.
Well, as a Rick and Morty fan, okay.
Oh, guys, he's a
So
loser.
we got a can lineup um
Woo!
this week, and a lot happened.
Mm-hmm.
First, first thing we mentioned this last week, Megalopolis was announced last week
Of
that it'll be
course.
at Cannes. Which is weird because it was supposed to go straight to theaters before it goes to festivals. That was like the original release plan,
Maybe he wants that
but I
Palme
guess it's good.
d'Or.
Maybe once that Palme d'Or, I don't think so. So people have read the screenplay or the original draft of the screenplay. Have you heard these rumors, these murmurs about
Mm.
Megalopolis? Some people say it's Francis Ford Coppola's
Okay, that I've heard. That it's like really good.
Bardo and a fistful of truths.
Wait, is that a bad thing?
It's kind of a bad thing. They're
Oh,
saying it's this grand sweeping gesture that's like insane, but it's so strange that it's so strange and personal that it's not gonna wow people.
gotcha. Okay. Oh, sorry.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll be the
I'm
judge of
really
that.
looking Oh, I'm really looking forward to it, but I could see it being not good for everyone.
We'll be the judge of that. Thank you very much.
It's definitely the most talked about film going into this festival.
Yeah.
Um, Mad Max Furiosa. It's premiering outside of competition.
Woo!
Yay!
Excited, excited.
Looking forward to seeing that and the response to that.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump in Ali Abbasi's The Apprentice. Wow, I'm so excited for that. Are you
Next.
not?
No comment.
Are you not?
No, I don't want a fucking movie about Donald Trump.
No, 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 no. So the rumors are that it is incredibly smart and not like one-sided and not like making fun of Trump. Like not like just like a blatant like satire of Trump
Okay.
that means
I
nothing.
mean, I'll
Like they
probably
chose to do it about his younger days in his like rise to power. And Ali Abbasi, you know, this guy directed The Holy Spider and
Yeah, yeah,
Builder.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I trust this guy to make something biting and interesting, and this all-star cast, Jeremy Strong
True.
is in
Jeremy
it as well.
Strong, I
Like
mean,
I love the I don't know. I'm very excited.
we'll see.
Um,
We'll see.
Oh Canada, the new Paul Schrader film.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yay.
I saw that you. We all saw that picture of Jacob Elordi in that movie.
Yeah, well, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're excited.
Um, sorry, Sean Baker, his new
Yes!
film,
Honora!
Enora, yeah, which is also part of his famous exploration of sex workers and minorities and all of that
So excited.
low income characters. I'm excited for that as well. I never watched Red Rocket. Did you ever see Red Rocket?
I have not, but I'm probably gonna watch it really soon.
I've only seen the Florida Project.
Oh, Tangerine is
Yeah,
very good.
I've heard Tangerine is good. Yeah. So that's Sean Baker. There's a new biopic with Ben Whishaw
Yes!
called Limonov the Ballad.
Yes.
The stills from that movie I've seen are fucking they look great. I'm looking
Yep.
forward to that. really,
Yep.
really much. What do you think of that? Why Billings?
I'm so excited. I honestly like don't really know what it's about, but like just from like the first looks or whatever. I love Ben Whishaw. Obviously, he's so good.
Ever
Um
since we watched Passages and talked about it on the podcast, I think I'm in love with Ben Whishaw.
no, because where did I see him before Passages?
I've barely seen him
The
in a lot.
Lobster. He was in The Lobster
He's
and he
in the
was in
loves.
Women Talking.
I just love this guy's vibe,
I know,
you
right?
know? I love I love how he looks, I love how he talks, I love his performances.
Oh
I just
shit.
like it. I love it.
He played Bob Dylan in I'm Not There.
Yeah. He's one of the characters.
Yeah.
He's one of the actors that played him.
I I
Um
I love him. I love Ben Whishaw. Very excited.
incredibly incredibly excited for Liminov. The new Cronenberg flick,
Yup.
The
Yup.
Shrouds. The Shrouds. Um, might be interesting. People didn't love Crimes of the Future. Not everyone has been a big fan of his recent output, especially because his son is kind of overshadowing him when it comes to
No,
um
his son is
current
not as good
time.
as him.
No, but current time like films. Like from the last few years, Brandon has been putting out a more consistently celebrated output. So I
I
mean,
guess.
people love Cronenberg's old flicks. They're classics. I love me some Videodrome and all that, but we'll see. First, I don't know what The Shrouds is about. Do you know?
No, but I saw the first look and it looked
Isn't it? Aren't they something
interesting.
in like a cemetery or something?
It looked like Doctor Who.
Yeah, it looks strange.
I don't know.
Um, Karsh, a innovative businessman and grieving widower, builds a device to connect with the dead inside a burial shroud.
Okay.
Interesting. Parthenope or Parthenope. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Uh-huh.
Um, a new Paulo Sorrentino movie, director of The Hand of God and um, The Great Beauty. Looking forward to that. There's all these small directors
Mm-hmm.
who are like consistently in Cannes are getting out movies this year.
Yeah,
Um, so looking forward to just like getting some recommendations.
me
I
too.
just feel like I'm not really hyped for that much coming out this year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Apprentice and Megalopolis are probably my two like.
Challengers.
Yeah, but I'm not that excited for
Challengers
Challengers.
is my top, and I'm also really excited to watch Monkey Man.
Oh, I am excited to watch. I'm excited to get me some Monkey Man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to
Yeah.
see that in theaters very soon with a friend. Um,
I'm gonna see that too.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I have one more piece of news though. Are you done with Can?
What's your last piece of news?
This is sad news.
What?
Um, Eleanor Coppola has died.
Oh yes, I did hear this.
If you guys didn't know, she was obviously like wife to Francis Ford Coppola, but also she
Yep.
herself was a writer and a filmmaker, and she directed the very famous, I guess, documentary you would call it of Apocalypse Now.
The Heart
And
of
like
Darkness.
yes,
Yep.
and
Very famous.
the 238-day production of Apocalypse Now, and that's definitely her most famous work, but she has passed at the age of 87. They were married for 60
That's so
years.
that's so heartbreaking, especially with the release of his new film.
Yeah, very sad.
Um, and now that he's like back in the public eye. So I hope that the response to Megalopolis is good so
Me
that he
too.
feels better.
Me
Um,
too.
rest in peace. Go watch Heart of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Rip.
great. Um, did you watch anything this week?
I watched, yeah, I can go through them in like a minute.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
You go first.
Okay. I watched some weird films this week, some weird kooky movies,
Uh-huh.
including Inherent Vice. Inherent Vice is a very strange film, but we'll get to that in a second. Um, I watched The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. Have you heard of that film?
Yes.
So it's a very, very famous satire of sorts by Louis Buñuel. Um, what the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Are
That's
you
all I
that
can say.
stumped?
I haven't been stumped by a film like this in a while
Uh-huh.
because it stumps you.
Yeah, it does
Well,
stump you.
actually, I got stumped by two films this week, but we'll get to that, like I
Yeah, we'll
said.
get to that.
Um, the Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, it's basically about these six like very rich people who and it's a series of meals that they plan to have, but they in the meal like they stuff happens so that every time they sit down to eat, they don't end up eating. That's like the very loose framework for what goes on. Like it's
Okay.
about these meetings, these sit downs to eat that don't happen. Um
Okay.
and it's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if I could even recommend it. It's very dry. It's very
Mm-hmm.
dense. It's like functions within its own reality, and it's so strange. It's not even like I can't even like there's weird movies like there's you got your David Lynch's and your whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like yeah, this is incredibly weird, really weird. But and then there's those movies where it's like this is just so weird, and I'm just not feeling, I'm just not getting anything from it, you know?
Yeah.
That's
I
what
I
I
get
don't know.
it.
I watched Dark Habits, which is a really early Pedro Almodovar movie
Mm-hmm.
from 1983. I got to catch that in theaters in this strange
Ooh,
screening. And I met some people there that were really cool.
nice.
From 1983, after her drug pusher boyfriend overdoses on heroin, a cabaret singer finds refuge from the authorities in a convent for fallen women, or like a nun's convent.
Yes.
Um, the main gist of this movie, though, is that within this convent, the nuns themselves have dealt with so many um heroin addicts, drug addicts, and whores, that they themselves have become uh
Oh,
incredibly promiscuous. They're all lesbians. They all take heroin and acid. Throughout the film, they own a tiger. Um, it's so weird. It's strange. It's a
okay.
strange movie. It was lots of fun in theaters. Would I recommend it? No,
Gotcha.
because I don't think you specifically would like it, even though that plot is really intriguing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
But I would only recommend this to really specific. It's like the same vibe of Woman on the Verge of the Nervous Breakdown, where it's like
Mm,
the plot is like simple, but it's hard to understand at the same time.
got it.
Where it's like, and it's a little boring as well,
Mm-hmm.
you
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it if you well, you can watch it if you want.
Okay. We'll
It's
see if I have time.
that plot idea is definitely enough to like hold the movie,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But it's not. It has its funny moments, but don't watch it alone, you know?
Don't watch it
It's just
alone.
not.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you watch?
So, what I watched, first of all, I finally got around to watching Joker. Um, I know I haven't seen it, but I watched it because of the new Joker that's coming out. It's not that good. I don't like it that much. I
So
on
I'm interested because when I watched the first one, I really liked it. That was
Mhm.
that was like I watched it the year it came out, which was 4 years
Yes.
ago now. I haven't seen Taxi Driver. I haven't seen King of Comedy, so don't attack me.
I'm not.
However, no, I was talking to our viewers, you know.
Oh, okay.
Some. You know, sometimes they get feisty.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
they
just
like
so
to
many
fight
of
us.
them. There's so many of them that um basically I like Joker. It's fun. It's a fun movie and it's dark.
It's it's fun, sure, but it's, like, cringy.
Yeah, no,
Like, Taxi
I would
Driver
probably really not like it nowadays if I
Taxi
rewatched
Driver
it.
was, like even though I don't love Taxi Driver all that much, it's still better than Joker by, like, eons, and also, like, Taxi Driver is a commentary in such a good way because, like, the Joker, like or whatever his name was, Arthur Fleck, like, everything he does is so, like he does everything to himself, but he, like, is so, like, self-deprecating, and he's like, 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 "Oh, like, I'm so this, I'm so that," like, um, but I feel like Taxi Driver is, like
But
it's similar, but Travis Bickle is, like, different. I can't really explain it to you without, like, giving things away. You just have to watch it for yourself.
my question to you is what do you get? I'm sorry. Yeah, no. What do you
Okay.
get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? You get what you fucking deserve. That's my
Guys,
thing.
this is what Yoav is really like.
My-
This is what he's like. No, I mean, like, I'm glad I watched it,
I'm
but
like the joke. I'm like
no, you're like one of those like um
like a film
losers.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like a film bro, right?
And I watched it on the airplane and like when I
Oh,
was when I was watching it, it was kind of funny because like some of the scenes I was like, but
that's like what's the most risky thing I've seen on an airplane? I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High on an airplane,
oh nice.
and that
I
was
was
kind
gonna
of
watch
risky.
Dix the
But that haven't.
musical, and the first scene was two people having like hardcore sex, so I immediately turned it off.
I feel like I don't know. I don't really watch risky stuff on a plane.
I don't know. But
Try to shy away from it. Kind of odd.
watch that. We'll see how the second one compares. But then I also watched, so I did a back-to-back double feature also on the airplane. Um, First of all, I watched Mean Girls, the musical 2024 that came out, and it was so bad. Just
Yay.
awful. But I double featured it by watching Mean Girls, the original, and it's so good.
I'm stupid with love. I want to get it. I want to get it, but how? Isn't the original Mean Girls really good though?
Yes, of
Isn't
course.
that a
The
funny?
original Mean Girls is great. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I watched. Because we're
Yay.
running out of time here.
Should we get to our I mean we're pretty much nearing the end of our podcast.
Yeah,
Should we
pretty
get
much.
to, should we get to our film?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
All
get to
right.
our film.
See you guys. Hey guys.
Hi guys, we're back.
So we're talking about Inherent Vice, which is a film from the year of our Lord,
To
2014.
2014.
What came out in 2014? Some good films, actually. It was a pretty good year. That was obviously the year where Birdman won Best Picture.
Yes.
Um, and A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And same with
Yes.
Whiplash and Gone Girl and Interstellar and Nightcrawler and
Wow, lots of really great movies.
lots of like modern classics, I guess. Not that I'm the biggest fan of all those movies listed. Um,
Yeah. Wait,
it stars Joaquin Phoenix, Brolin, Owen Wilson, Catherine Watterson, Reese Witherspoon, Benicio del Toro.
stacked
And
cast.
it is incredibly stacked. The cast is stacked. Now, I just wonder how it was on set for this film. but I guess we'll get to it. Um, overall introductory thoughts. Because you just watched the film.
I did. I did just watch it like an hour ago, whatever.
Uh,
Um, I didn't click. It didn't click for me. I didn't like it all that much.
mm,
It wasn't bad. Like I don't think it was bad. It just I don't know. I don't love these. I don't neo noirs don't work for me. Um they're not my favorite. I struggle to connect with Brick as well. And it's not because of the context, but a lot of the writing sometimes just gets really muddy for me. But it wasn't
okay,
yeah,
I'm a big fan of neo-noirs, but not new neo-noirs. Old neo-noirs. Like
right.
real neo-noirs from the 80s. That's what I'm talking about. Um, I didn't connect with it too much. I had fun.
Yeah, I guess I had fun.
I had fun for the most part. I watched it with a friend. It was a good, fun little thing to riff on, I guess. Um, what the fuck is this movie though? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on, you know? Like, there's so what is this plot? What?
The plot was there it's like
Dude,
not it's like kind of
what is go
non-existent.
No, what? Literally explain to me what happens in this movie because I don't understand. And I feel like I should understand, but I don't.
Well, from what I was reading, like people were like, yeah, like you're not supposed to get the plot, like that's the point. Like the point
No,
isn't
I
like
get that it's like overly
but
convoluted and that's the point.
and I'm just like I don't like I don't know, like
I
part of
just
me
feel
like
like I just feel like the way it's presented to us is like you should I feel like if it gave me a plot that was not convoluted and not too hard to understand, then I would be a little more interested in what's going on because the things that
mhm,
it's giving us are not
yeah.
that good, so it just ends up kind of frustrating.
Like I literally like I I don't have I do not have individualized notes because I just was like, what is going on?
However, I think this movie does have some moments that I really, really enjoyed. Um, on a technical standpoint, when it comes to the cinematography, the music, the soundtrack,
Obviously.
the performances, the framing, the I guess on paper everything is really, really nice. And it's
See,
very meticulous.
can I
It's
say
very Paul
something
Thomas Anderson, like perfectionist framing. I yeah, go ahead.
unpopular opinion?
Oh
A
gosh.
lot of Paul Thomas Anderson movies are like that. I
Like
have
what?
not seen Punch Drunk Love, so I cannot speak on
Okay.
behalf of that movie. But I have seen Inherent Vice. I've seen The Master. I've seen There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. My favorite out of all four is Boogie Nights.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like a lot of the time, Paul Thomas Anderson movies, like you said, on paper, everything sounds and looks good. And all of his movies look phenomenal and sound phenomenal, and obviously the
Yeah.
acting is great. But I always have a hard time with the storytelling of via plot,
I feel like
especially with this movie and The Master. I hated The Master.
really
Yes, did
I feel like
not
they
like
keep
it.
a certain distance from you at all times. And I don't know if I love that kind of filmmaking with the stories that he's telling. I
Mhm.
love Punch Drunk Love though. I eat that shit up.
That one,
Punch
yeah, I
Drunk
haven't
Love
seen it
is
yet,
a
so I cannot say
masterpiece.
anything.
Punch Drunk Love, Punch, Punch Drunk Love is a masterpiece, undisputed, brilliant writing, amazing.
Yeah.
Love that movie. It still keeps a distance from you, but it's not too far.
Okay.
This one goes a little too far.
Mhm.
Now, I think as the movie is sunk in my head, I don't like it more. I like it less as
Yeah.
time passes.
Yeah.
Um, I think there are some great parts. Okay, should we start? Let's talk about the humor. I think it's a very funny film. I think there were many parts where I laughed. Now, not a lot of distinct things I can point back to and think it was really funny. But just the vibe, the energy, all of the parts where Joaquin Phoenix is like fumbled around and like he has really funny bits. Josh Brolin eats the weed at
Yeah.
the end.
That was
The
funny.
whole bit with Josh Brolin grieving for his partner and that leading to some kind of homosexual frustration.
Yeah,
Um, with the chocolate bananas, that was very funny. All of the kind of mumbling that Joaquin Phoenix does, where he's like, and you don't know what he says. I just
Joaquin
think that's
Phoenix is
really funny.
so he's so weird.
There's, there's something cool about this hazy kind of frustrating energy where it's like, dude, I don't know what's going on. Let me just start with my biggest point here.
Yeah.
There is a little film called The Long Goodbye, and that's a film directed by Robert Altman.
Mhm.
And this is so much like The Long Goodbye in that they're both films. There's so many comparisons I can make. I mean, just the shots of the beach, the thing with the insane asylum, the plot in general is about an investigator. The
Mhm.
way the way the plot works, where the main character just feels like like going through the motions, like he's not like things are leading him one place to a next, not like naturally, like he's just being thrown around. The frustrating nature of it, the sexually frustrating nature of it.
Mhm.
Um, the haziness. They're both set in Los Angeles in the 70s. I, The Long Goodbye is a near masterpiece. It's a really amazing film, and it's also very hazy and frustrating. I just wonder why, like I was just thinking how much I wanted to rewatch The Long Goodbye. That's a
So
big
this is
point
like
here.
a cheap kind of cop.
I don't know if
I
it's
don't
cheap. That's the thing. It's not cheap because so many stars, like the cinematography,
Well,
it's
when
just
I
so
say cheap,
technically scrumptious.
when I say like a cheap cop out, I don't
No, I
mean
get what
like
you mean.
literally cheap, but more just like
Yeah.
cheap of like the plot.
I
And
don't know. It's kind of a love letter to The Long Goodbye though, in a way.
probably,
It's just much longer and much more convoluted.
yeah.
And, The Long Goodbye has the same quality, like I said, of frustration. It's a frustrating film.
Mhm.
Um, And this one kind of gets to that because it is really hazy and confusing and frustrating to watch. And
Yeah.
then a lot of the letterbox reviews I saw were like, just don't pay attention to the plot, just get with the like hazy, frustrating, like hippie ways of the movie.
But
But I like doing that better in The Long Goodbye than I liked it here, and that says something,
that does say
you know?
something. Yeah. Also, like,
Um,
you can totally like a really good example of this. And okay, sorry, I maybe not a really good example, but the first one that came to my mind
yeah.
is Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Even though there isn't like that movie doesn't have as strong of a plot, if that makes sense. Like obviously it's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
loose, but
Yeah.
that's a perfect example of a movie of being able to go with the haziness, go along with these
Yeah.
seniors graduating, whatever, whatever, whatever. And it's like you're happy and you just feel it and you're in it. You know what I mean?
I'm smiling because Dazed and Confused.
Yeah. But then this one is like it's also really hard because like you said, you're so disconnected. So when I feel so
Yeah.
disconnected from the characters and from what's going on, and I
Yeah.
don't have even a semblance of a grasp of the plot, then I'm not going to be able to go with the flow because I'm just sitting there like,
I had kind of a semblance. Like I kind of understood, like looking back, I don't remember shit from this plot, and I watched this yesterday. But
no, like,
um
uh, girl gone, some
she
guy named,
disappears.
there was some
There's a
guy,
plot. There's a because she was a her the guy she was with was married, and
yeah,
his wife was plotting with the guy she was cheating on her husband with to I guess there's like a potentially like a kidnapping of the guy. But the thing is they were all like there wasn't really like a scandal or a crime taking place in a way.
mm-hmm,
Like there was like crime undertones, but like no one was actually kidnapped. We find out that the said husband, was just in this like place in this like chakra like vibe,
yeah,
psych ward, I guess, and she was just on the boat the whole time, and they're all just like there, like if we're not like trying to find someone. We're not. There's no like
mm-hmm,
clear goal, and people just show up, and so many names in this movie,
oh my
like I needed,
God,
like if you want to try to follow this plot, you have to have a pen and paper because there's so many names to follow, constantly like shit being thrown at you. Um, so there's not even a way in. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Now, my way in, little segue, my way in was the narration because
oh yes, 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 Joanna
um
Newsom.
Joanna Newsom her poetic narration was everything for me. I thought it was so fun. She had some really beautiful lines and she was constantly, throwing them at you. Obviously, she didn't write this, but I get why they brought Joanna in for this
Mm-hmm.
because she's a poet, and it just makes so much sense that she would be the one saying this stuff. And she, the first thing she says is she's describing his ex-girlfriend that walks in for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and she says she's looking just like she swore she never looked. And she just has so many good lines in this movie.
I did write down that my
Right,
favorite
right.
parts
Read.
my favorite parts of this movie were Owen Wilson, Hong Chow, and Joanna Newsom.
Oh yeah, Hong Chao is in this as well.
Um I'm not obviously I'm not I know who Joanna Newsom is, I know what she does, but you are extremely, extremely familiar with her, whereas I am not. But I know she does write some
Guys,
beautiful poetry and
she's
songs.
she's she's my favorite singer ever, I think. I always say this because she is just I think in this movie she's also just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I love her voice and I love her vibe. And her music has really changed my life in a lot of ways. I
Hmm.
own all her records. I think she's brilliant. I think she's our modern Shakespeare, and that her works could be studied forever. Um, and it's crazy to me seeing her in this film because she's just someone, she has no social media, she has no, marketing team kind of with her. Um, she hasn't released an album in a long time, almost a
Yeah.
decade. Um, the only, fans of her, the only thing we get is really like really, really small like hints, small appearances once in a while, small like little. She's basically like just this like mythical creature that's just outside of our bounds,
I
especially with her music being so medieval and strange.
hmm
Um, and so, well, actually, like a few months back, is she's making a reappearance this year. She had a concert with Fleet Foxes,
mm,
a surprise appearance in a concert with Fleet Foxes, and she did some new material there. And now she
nice.
has concerts in LA next month. Um,
Oh
and
shit,
I'm so
wow.
upset. I'm so upset. You can't. I tickets ran out within 30 minutes for all 5 shows. Um, and I'm so upset I'm not going. But it's just crazy seeing her in a work like this because it's like you never see her face, you know?
Mhm.
It's just like her voice is so like calming and high pitched, and it's just so nice to see her in this. I love her. So
I will
love you,
say,
Joanna.
um, the fact that she's married to Andy Samberg is so powerful. That is so powerful to me because everyone knows Andy Samberg. He's this freaking like comedic goofball, like
Yeah,
very like unserious, all that. If you like have seen like his SNL, like all his SNL like sketches and stuff, very
never
unserious.
never stop stopping.
Yeah. But like
Pop
the
stars.
fact that he is married to her and she's married to him, it kind of makes sense. But then that kind of shows me that, oh my God, she's so mystical, but then she also has a goofy side.
She does have a goofy
She has a
side.
goofy side.
She has her own sense of humor, and it's so like, and it goes above your head all the time, but she's a funny gal. I
Mm-hmm.
think if you're looking to get into her music, um let me know. I
I
can
will.
recommend I can recommend. She's really something. So that's a little tangent, but it
Okay.
was cool seeing her in this, and her narration was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Was this shot on film? Yes, right?
Let
Looks
me
great.
see.
The movie looks great. I mean, the lighting, the vibe, like the visual vibe, the visual language looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of like creative lighting techniques where it looks kind of natural, but also
Yeah.
like artificially hazy at the same time. It looks very 70s. It looks very wonderful. The lighting and the cinematography really like speak each other's language, and it looks spectacular. Here's a great shot
He
that's evocative of the Last Supper.
hmm he shot on
Not that
film.
I understand, not that I understand why they made a reference to the Last Supper, or how that biblical it has anything to do, but that is cool.
hmm
I noticed
This
there's this part. Oh yeah, that was a
this
cool
was very
shot as well.
pretty.
But that's the thing, like when I look back at like Punch Drunk Love, for example, I just feel like there are more shots from that where I could be like wow,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And here it's like it means something, and the cinematography is pretty and meaningful. It's just I don't know what it means.
Right.
I just have no endpoint to this it's incredibly dense. It feels like a beast of a film. It's 2.5 hours long. I don't know. I just had no way in. I can't tell you. I'm stumped.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna watch video essays before the podcast, but then I was like, why do I have to do that? Like if for a film that like tries to get me to just like feel it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel it. Like we had an entire podcast on Double Life of Veronique. That
Yeah.
movie makes no fucking sense. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's I think it's brilliant, and I felt it on like an internal level. And here it's just like, okay. Oh,
Exactly.
Joaquin Phoenix beard. Um, I couldn't watch this without subtitles either because he mumbles a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
Um, did you watch it with subs?
I watch most movies with subtitles.
There's a reoccurring thing in the movie where they say "What's up, Doc?" Thought that was cool.
What they say a lot of weird things.
I will say I really like in the beginning of the film, in the first like half, I was really interested in the plot. Like I was interested in like say I was like following along.
Mm-hmm.
And it was moving really fast, and I wrote down a note where I was like, I this is moving so quickly. I'm trying to type as fast as I can so I don't miss a beat. And I was enjoying myself as well. And then, he goes to the chick massage parlor, and there's that whole thing. Very funny, by the way. I thought that was funny. Where he gets hit on the head as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then we meet Bigfoot and all that. It's really meticulous. There was this shot that I paused it. I was watching with a friend and we paused it because he had to go to the restroom or something. And there's this shot, like a crossfade between Joaquin Phoenix and
Mhm.
when he goes to meet Chloe's wife. I forgot her name. Owen
Oh,
Wilson's wife.
yes, yes, with the teeth.
Basically, we paused it and you like the corner of Joaquin Phoenix's hair, like they framed it so perfectly that when during the crossfade, his hair turned into her shadow.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was very
I remember that. I remember that. I distinctly remember that.
it's it's very very specific and detailed, and I do like that kind of filmmaking. I think that was like really really cool. The
Yeah.
visual language is very very detailed, and you can definitely tell that they put a lot of effort into it. um that conversation with her was funny, where she mentions, she shows him the picture of the heroin baby.
Hmm.
He's like, ah! I'm happy they didn't show it to us. um God, I have nothing. What's your next note? What'd you write?
Literally, the last thing I wrote was that I just really love Johnny Greenwood.
Oh yeah, the
Guys,
music is awesome.
let me tell y'all something. So, if you don't know this, if you do not, this is now me with you with Joanna Newsom.
Yep.
If you don't know this, Johnny Greenwood is one of the core members of Radiohead.
Radiohead.
If you did not
Yes.
know that, Johnny Greenwood is the like OG member, like alongside Tom York, founder Radiohead.
Yes. Yes.
So they have Radiohead together. Johnny Greenwood also does, he composes music for a lot of different things, but mostly for Paul Thomas Anderson. He does like all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies. His best work, in my opinion, is There Will Be Blood. Um, that soundtrack is crazy. I love listening to it when I'm doing homework. You might call me a freak for that because the music's really weird, but I don't care. Phantom Thread music is also really good.
Oh, have you seen? Oh, I have seen Phantom Thread.
Okay,
That
I haven't
movie is
seen that
great.
one yet.
I do really love Phantom Thread. I totally forgot about that. Yes, Phantom Thread is great.
Yeah, the music crazy, but Tom York and Johnny Greenwood also have another band called The Smile.
Yeah.
So that's their other little creative band thing. And then Tom York is also a composer. He's composed movies so he's composed music for like Luca Guadagnino and stuff.
Yeah.
Um
Um, he has a great album that he made with Israeli musician Dudu Tassa. It's called
mhm.
Jalak Karibak. It's like very like classical Middle Eastern music influenced with kind of like a dance like rave kind of style. It's excellent. It's kind of like a trippy um Eastern kind of
Interesting.
music.
I didn't know that.
I do really recommend it. Jala Karibak. It's great.
Okay.
I love Johnny Greenwood. He's amazing.
But yeah, sorry. I just think people should know that because like learned this a year ago that like Johnny Greenwood's also in Radiohead and I don't know, he's so good. He is
Crazy. He's just
so
all over the place. I love it.
yeah. Definitely go listen to his music because he is phenomenal. And that's literally my last note. Thank you.
Um, FBI man picks his nose. That was one of my notes. Um,
And eats
it
it and puts it up his butt.
okay.
Sorry.
What is this, Boss Baby?
Yes, it is.
You know that once. Stop. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite confused, but I'm having a lot of fun. I wrote that near the end. That whole thing with the dentist and the dentist for the people that were heroin addicted, and then there's that whole thing with the girl that ran away from home, and that whole thing with
Yeah.
what's his name from Only Murders in the Building. He was funny.
Steve,
Little short Martin
Martin
Short.
Short.
Yeah, he was funny. He was weird.
Not Steve
Hong
Martin. Martin Short.
Hong Chow was cool.
Hong Chau's great.
I was having fun. I I think it definitely a compliment I have for the film. Felt like 2 hours and not 2.5.
I disagree, but it's okay.
Oh yeah.
I
Um,
really just like I really, and what's really sad is I really wanted to like this movie. Like I really did. Um it just did not work for me.
um, it is strange. It is hazy. It's idiosyncratic. It's cool. I respect it more than I like it. Um, que se fucking sera sera,
Yeah.
as Doc says. My last five notes was what, dude, what, what? He really ate that weed. That was a funny scene.
That was pretty
Um,
funny. That was
s sex scene was interesting.
I didn't like that.
Um, okay, yay. That
Yay,
was
that's
inherent
it.
vice. Do you want to
That's
get
it.
to ratings?
Yeah. Should I go?
Um, Guys, wait, let me just say, I did enjoy myself. I think a little more than Meli. Yeah, it was fun watching with a friend. Wouldn't recommend it,
Yeah, what I wouldn't either.
but
I would
yeah.
recommend I would recommend Boogie Nights from what I've seen. Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, Inherent Vice, The Master all the way down.
Mm. Why did you not like the master?
Um, Similar reasons to this movie.
Hmm.
I was too disconnected, and I mean, granted, I watched it a while ago.
Yeah.
So if I rewatched it, I could probably like it more,
Mm.
but similar reasons to this one. Yeah,
Okay. Um, do you want to start with rating?
sure. I give it a 2.5.
Jesus. Okay, I
I think
respect it.
this is the lowest film I've like the lowest rating I've given.
What was Boyhood?
Oh, just kidding. I think Boyhood was the lowest.
I gave Boyhood. What did we give
Wait, let me check.
Boyhood?
Let me check.
I'm gonna go teetering between a 3 and a 3.5.
Okay.
3.25 for
Oh,
me.
we gave Boyhood 2.5.
Okay. So you're saying this is on par with Boyhood?
I think it's because I 2.5 stars because of everything good we talked about. But for me, the
Okay.
negatives outshadow the positives.
Okay. I think the only reason I'm adding a half a star to my 3-star rating is Joanna Newsom. So
Gotcha. Respect that. I respect that.
that's all I can say. Yeah,
Yeah.
3.25, 3.5. We'll see. That's Inherent Vice. It's very I forgot I'm sorry, I've kind of just forgot about it over the last day.
Mm-hmm.
So take that as you will.
Yeah.
Um, I hope we redeem ourselves with next week's pick. Do you
I
want to get
hope
to it?
so. I hope so. Let's get to it.
Okay. Wait, turn off this background.
All right, guys. So, this movie, so I told you guys last week, I told you that I was gonna do a movie that was also centered around drugs because of 420.
Yeah.
And
Oh gosh.
so this movie we both haven't seen it. All
Okay.
right. And it's old, but not too old.
Okay.
Um
What is too
it is
old?
26 years old.
Okay. So 1998.
Yes, 1998. It stars an actor that I don't like. I hate this actor. But I think this is a movie that people recommend to watch. And I've heard good things
Okay.
about it. I see good things about it. So,
I think I know what it is, actually.
well, the movie is Fear and
Fear and
Loathing
Loathing. You
in
lost it. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. This is so great. This is so great because it's there. My 420 screening at the theater I saw um Dark Habits in is doing Fear and Loathing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, guys. I freaking called that shit. Okay, let me read you the
Oh,
descriptions.
I'm so excited for this actually.
Okay.
You don't like Johnny Depp? Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Buy the ticket, take the ride. Raul Duke and his attorney Dr. Gonzo drive a red convertible across the Mojave Desert to Las Vegas with a suitcase full of drugs to cover a motorcycle race. As their consumption of drugs increases at an alarming rate, the Stone duo trash their hotel room and fear legal repercussions. Duke begins to drive back to LA, but after an odd run with a cop, he returns to Sin City and continues his wild drug binge. Um, Directed by Terry Gilliam, who has directed so many iconic
Yay!
movies like um Monty Python
I
and the Holy
love Terry
Grail,
Gilliam. I love
Brazil,
Terry
Time
Gilliam.
Bandits,
I love
yeah,
Terry Gilliam.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Munchausen.
Um,
Munchausen.
so many. I'm very excited to watch this.
You
He
thought I was
was
feeling you? You thought I was feeling you? You were Baron Munchausen.
oh,
Munchausen.
but yeah, I'm very excited. Um, yeah, I've heard great things about this movie,
Okay,
so let's bring it on.
bring it on, buddy boy.
Yeah.
I will be watching it in theaters.
Yay!
Um, thank you. Great pick. Hopefully we'll both like it a little more.
I think we will.
If not,
We'll
it's
see.
okay. It's okay. Some things are good in life, some things are bad.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Watch Inherent Vice, form your own opinion, I guess. Watch Fear and Loathing as well.
Mhm.
If not, if you don't watch it,
There's something I could say, but I'm not gonna say it.
I'll shove a chocolate banana up your ass.
No, 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 no. You'll shove a regular banana up someone's ass and it'll come out chocolate covered. Hell yeah.
Nasty. Well, this ended up being longer than expected, I guess.
Yeah, we are hitting an hour and 8 minutes.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way the world works. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for
See you next
watching.
week. See you next
Yeah.
week.
See you next week. Should we just fade out?
Bye.
Bye.